Community Viewpoint with Maria Hurst.
Hello, welcome to Community Viewpoint. I'm your host for this segment, Maria Hurst. I am super excited and super lucky to have the most wonderfully talented artist on my show tonight named Kat Ruff. And it's really a privilege to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I've seen some of your work, and when I saw it, I was like, you have to come on my show.
Thank you.
I hope that the viewers enjoy the art as much as I do. And so tell me a little bit, how old were you when you started doing art?
Oh gosh. I was as long as I can remember now. As soon as I was able to hold a pencil and crayon, I had always doodling, always had a pencil, always had a pen, always had paper, no matter what it was, whether it be a receipt, a sticky pad, newspaper, just always scribbling around, doodling, making up stories with the characters I came up with.
That's awesome.
As long as I can remember.
When you just said receipt, it makes me think of something. So years ago, I went to the Tim Burton exhibit. So after looking at your art, like, she's really talented, and we're going to show some of her pieces in just a second, but I can see, like, your stuff is going to be at a museum exhibit. They're going to have one of those receipts there that you drew on. It's going to be like early Kat Ruff right here. So do you want to go right into it? Do you want to go right into just talk about a piece, and then we'll... Okay, so tell me about this one.
This is probably one of my more recent ones that I've done. It's a marker-based drawing, so it's done in all alcohol-based markers called Copic. I use Copic. Most of this, I just came up with this. I was scrolling through Pinterest and I saw a picture of a queen bee, and I thought it'd be a fun character to draw. So I went ahead and came up with a few concept pieces. I drew different poses, different characters, all kinds of concept work, and this is the one I ended up liking the most, so I went ahead and did that. It does have some highlights with gouache up on the eyes and on the wings as well, but other than that, it's done in all Prismacolor lining and Copic markers.
So I love that piece, and like when you said queen bee, I'm like, yep, that's queen bee. So, but I want to ask, so because I'm not an artist, and I don't know what some of this is. So the Copic is the type of...
The Copic is a brand name that I use. You could find any kind of alcohol-based markers. It doesn't have to be alcohol-based markers, but that's what I prefer. That's what I think blends the best. That's what I think looks the nice. It's also my favorite brand, so I am a little biased that way. I do.
When you find something you like.
I do.
And what's gouache?
Gouache, it's like almost like an acrylic paint. It's almost like an acrylic, yeah.
I've seen that in other, like, I love to look at art, but I don't know a lot about it, but I have seen, like, what things are described. There's different, like, different types of things incorporated into one. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I do love mixed media. I don't think there's any pieces that I do that are just strictly paint or strictly pencil. I like to incorporate just about everything that I have, or something that blends well together, it looks nice, that makes it stand out. I do like incorporating that a lot as well.
That's what makes each artist, I think, oh, let's go to this one. It's like your fingerprint.
Yeah, exactly.
Your style. So tell me about this one.
This one was inspired off of the video game The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This is my favorite character from there, Yennefer. This piece is called Lilac and Gooseberries just because one of the side quests in there was entitled that, and after hearing the title, it just really inspired me to get going and drawing this. This is in watercolor. It's Japanese watercolor. I cannot pronounce the name, but yeah, so it's just one of my favorites. Yeah.
That's really, really nice. I love the colors.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So you've been drawing since as far as back as you can remember. A lot of these pieces they have so many dimensions. Like you said, the mixed media, they have a lot of dimensions. How did your school, like, what happened in school that brought you, that just kept building this artistic...
It started since first grade. I know in first grade I did win a couple prizes. My artwork was published in like a judge's hallway or something. I can't even remember. It's so long ago. Then through high school, I also won quite a few prizes. I was also art club president all through high school, always involved with the art programs, with painting, anything that had to do with creativity, I was always involved with. Ironically, though, I was never in the art classes. Never in the art classes. I think I was in there once, and I was in there, and I'm like, she didn't teach me anything that I didn't already know.
Because you were so eager to learn it all.
Yeah.
You learned it all before.
I thought it was kind of like a waste to take the class, but I was highly involved in the clubs, everything like that. I was always involved in the program. I even TA'd for the classes whenever I got a chance to.
Okay.
I was also in a few art classes in college as well, out here through Elko and everything. So that was also fun. I learned a lot from that one. That's why I took those ones. But as far as school and art goes, like no matter what I'm doing, I'm always involved in it somewhere. I always gravitate towards that area of,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so anything, I always gravitate towards it.
That's awesome. I want to see some more. So let's. Oh, I recognize him. That's Hellboy, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This was inspired by the recent reveal of the new Hellboy movie coming out. So as soon as I heard that, I was ecstatic about the news. I immediately knew I had to draw Hellboy again. This is not my first time drawing him. I've always been a big fan of the comic books with him, and especially the movies. And so I got so excited about this recent movie. This is also in watercolor with marker and Faber-Castell colored pencils.
Okay.
That one was done in.
That one is amazing. I love it.
That one I probably finished about 3 days ago.
Okay, well, just in time.
Yeah.
Community Viewpoint. We still have lots of time, right? Okay, let's see more. Ooh.
This one was done about a month ago. Okay. This one, again, I was scrolling through Pinterest. I get a lot of my ideas from Pinterest, and I saw these flowers. I can't even remember what the name of them are, but I saw these flowers, and I just fell in love with them. Like I'm like, I have to do something with this. And so I recently watched back The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I got inspired by the gypsy girl, and so I was just like, okay, I have to do something with the gypsy, and then I just so happened to incorporate these flowers into her and everything, and it's one of my more favorite pieces. That one was done in watercolor and Faber-Castell colored pencils.
That's awesome. I love that movie.
I know, I absolutely love it.
I love it. Oh, Wolfman.
This is an example of some of the commission work that I do. People
Okay.
come to me with their characters and they ask me to draw them. And this is where a lot of my commissions come from, is from people wanting me to draw their characters.
Okay.
And I do anything from fandom characters to Dungeons and Dragons. Like, people they want to see their character in their head be created.
Okay.
And so I get a lot of work from that.
Okay, that's awesome. Is that because I want to go into the other types of art she does too now. So okay, so here's the jewelry. I was going to talk about that first. Let's go back to us really quick. Hello. So tell me. So I saw the jewelry before the show, and it's beautiful.
Thank you.
So tell me what got you into the jewelry.
What got me into the jewelry is I've been doing the jewelry since sophomore year in high school.
Okay.
Which was quite a few years back. So I've been doing jewelry since sophomore year in high school. I saw it on Etsy, and I fell in love with the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life necklace. Absolutely fell in love with it. Fell in love with the concept, everything. However, I did not want to pay the price for most of the Tree of Life necklaces. They were going for absurd amounts, I thought. Not necessarily absurd, but just pretty pricey, like $60 per pendant type thing. And I was a high schooler, so I'm like, I can't afford this. And my friend came to me, and she was just like, you could do this. You could definitely do this yourself. You know, it's not that hard. Like, look at this, you could do it. And so we ended up buying the supplies together, and it took me years to perfect that jewelry, that design, that twist. It took me definitely a lot of time, a lot of practice and everything. And when I first started doing it, people were buying them from me. and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm making money off of this. Like, I'm definitely,
That's
I have an
awesome.
Etsy store and everything too. But I think back to the people that bought the first ones that I made, and I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry, because I look at the ones that I've done now, and I'm like, I've advanced so much since then.
Those were the people that believed in you.
Yes,
and
yeah,
and
and
you could do it.
I appreciate them so much, everyone, definitely. And
That's
because
awesome.
of that, I've created an Etsy store, and I've had my
Okay.
Etsy account since 2015 now.
Do we have the Etsy store up? We will add it. We'll add it.
The
Okay,
Etsy store
so
is
it's right
actually
here.
on the back of my card. It's etsy.com/ravensrain creations.
Oh, there we go. Right there. We have
Yeah,
it.
there we go. And that also has my Facebook and my For Infinity account. Every single one of those places, my art is posted. Etsy is the one that has all my jewelry, whether it be the Tree of Lives is what I usually mainstream make, but I do make earrings, I make theme things. People come to me for football themed things like the
Okay.
Cardinals or the Seattle Seahawks. They want to see these things. So I've done commissions of that kind of
Okay.
thing, making themed jewelry. Right now in my store, I have a lot of fall and Halloween themed jewelry for the upcoming season, because it's my favorite
awesome.
season, and so I of course have to make a lot of jewelry for that as well.
That is awesome. We're going to put a link on our Community Viewpoint page. So if you're seeing this now, tell all your friends to go to YouTube, go to the Channel 46 logo, click on the channel, like the channel, subscribe, go down to Community Viewpoint, and you can find Kat's show here tonight. You can go on there, but we're going to put a link to her Etsy store up on Community Viewpoint. So let's go back to the jewelry. I want to see the jewelry now. Now that we have all the back. Look at how pretty that is. So tell me about the top one. That's amethyst, right?
Yeah, that top one is copper coated wire, and it's amethyst. The right one is just glass, just blue glass, and then the left one is citrine. It has copper coated wire and citrine, and the bottom one is just a mix of opal, citrine, and glass.
That's awesome. I love them.
Thank you so much.
I love them.
Definitely one of the more popular items that I make.
It's very, very, very pretty. I'm so glad you came on the show. We just have 1 minute left, so let's show the card one more time so that we can get her store on there. I love your card too. It's
Thank
really
you
cool.
so much.
Really cool. Okay, Facebook.com/ravensrain.
Ravens Rain Creations.
Ravens Rain Creations. Etsy.com/Ravens Rain Creations. For Affinity.
Yep, for Infinity.
/Uber/Ravens Rain. But we're going to put a link up, so go back to us now so we can close. So we're going to put a link up. I wish you all the best of luck, and we're going to be talking more because I think I'm going to commission some of this stuff too. Super, super beautiful art.
Thank you so
Wonderful,
much.
talented artist. We're so lucky to have you here in Pahrump. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
And you can find future episodes if you want to like her and watch us over and over on youtube.com or kpvm.tv. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's say bye. Are we closing? Okay, bye.
Community Viewpoint with Maria Hurst.